Hey there, everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday version of my NFL podcast. That's right, I moved it to today because I want things out of the way. Normally I do it on Fridays, but yeah. Normally I do these on Friday, but given the fact that last night was insane and the fact that today is franchise tagging day, I figure why the hell not? I mean, seriously. Good thing my shows have the week off, which means I'm able to do this. So yeah, tonight we're going to be discussing about the Philadelphia Eagles and how many years Howie Roseman will have left in him, and the fact that we're going to, and also we're also going to talk about how long it'll take before the Philadelphia Eagles get back on track. And we're also going to talk about Tennessee Titans. How the heck are they going to move forward after Isaiah Wilson? I mean, seriously. The Isaiah Wilson news was a buzzkill. I mean, seriously, that was very bad. It was very, very bad. Yeah, so we'll be discussing that. Then we're going to talk about, then after the Isaiah Wilson news, we're going to be talking about the J.J. Watt situation and how he posted a tweet saying that soon we could see J.J. Watt on a new team. I don't know what the heck it is going on. I mean, seriously, could it be that J.J. Watt finally found a team, or is this just a goof? I guess we'll find out. Anyways, tonight we're also doing my mock NFL free agency as well, considering the fact that, given that today is tagging day, I figure why the heck not? Yeah, so it's going to be NFL. Ty Walker, welcome. You picked a great night to come. We're going to be talking about the Isaiah Wilson situation. We're also going to be talking about my mock free agency. That's right. I'm going to do my mock free agency, which will determine, which in my opinion, which team will be going to where. I mean, seriously. But first things first, we got a lot to discuss about. So let's get some of these out of the way. First up, let's talk about last night's craziness. I mean, seriously. I was watching CW's All-American. The show was, I saw you commented on one of my videos. Ooh. And yeah, I guess so. Anyways, yeah. I was watching CW's All-American, and the show was about to end when all of a sudden Isaiah Wilson tweeted out saying it's over. Saints Fan 101, what's up? Isaiah Wilson tweeted before it got deleted, it was my Super Bowl is rigged video. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, Isaiah Wilson tweeted that he's done playing football for the Tennessee Titans. Then his tweet got deleted, but not before A to Z Sports Nashville caught on. I mean, seriously, every media, you don't post, even if you delete it, it goes viral. I found that tweet and did my video about it. I mean, seriously. Still, it was very sad. I mean, seriously, Isaiah Wilson really disgraced the uniform. I mean, seriously. I was never on Isaiah Wilson's side from the beginning. In fact, here's my impression of what happened during draft night. With the 29th pick in the in the 2020 NFL draft, Tennessee Titans select Isaiah Wilson. And I was like, what in the world? We could have gotten a cornerback. We could have gotten a cornerback in the first round. You needed a cornerback, not that stinking imbecile Isaiah Wilson. Are you crazy? Yeah, that was. Do you think Christian Fulton is good? Well, he is better than Isaiah Wilson. At least he was committed. Isaiah Wilson is not. Christian Fulton was committed. He deserves the first round pick, not Isaiah Wilson. I mean, seriously. Come on. That was what I called dumb. And you know what the problem is? They can't release him even if they wanted to, not without coughing up over $5 million. That was very bad. That is very bad. So what are you going to do? Keep him on the bench until his contract is up? That would be worth a waste of money. That would be worth a waste of money. I mean, seriously, that would be a waste of money. And it reflects badly on Jon Robinson too, because he made these picks. In fact, in the first round, the past 10 years, Titans were terrible, except for Jeffrey Simmons. Trucker Tim, what's up? Yeah, seriously. Other than Jeffrey Simmons, Titans sucked out loud during the first round. I mean, seriously. And Jeffrey Simmons was picked when the Titans hosted the NFL draft. I mean, seriously. Maybe we need the home court advantage. Jonnu Smith or Corey Davis. If I had to choose between those two, I would have to say Jonnu Smith. But yeah, Jonnu Smith. I mean, seriously, what in the world is wrong with these guys? I mean, seriously, how many more years until Jon Robinson ends up like Howie Roseman? Look, I'm not trying to be compatible with Howie Roseman. I mean, he already stunk up the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, seriously. Now he's looking for a young roster. Carson Wentz is traded. Most of their best players are gone, about to hit free agency. I mean, seriously. I am still surprised that Zach Ertz is still on that roster. I mean, seriously. Well, not for long, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, how long until Tennessee Titans end up like the Philadelphia Eagles if Jon Robinson keeps this up? And now look at the Titans. Hit the thumbs up. It's free. And now look at the Titans. They're back to square one on the offensive line. They need a real backup for Dennis Kelly. And on the worst time to get it. I mean, seriously, they already need an edge rusher. They need a backup wide receiver if Corey Davis leaves. This is a bad timing, Isaiah Wilson. I mean, seriously, the madness start. This party loving tackle was really a disgrace. He is a total disgrace. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? We play y'all this next season. Yeah, I know that. And we host the game. And we got your former QB Ryan Tannehill as our QB. So basically, Tannehill is facing you guys guys, and if we win, it's payback for trading him to us. Because Tannehill will feel betrayed. And this is kind of sad, though. This is kind of sad. I cannot believe this. Isaiah Wilson is practically the biggest bust in NFL history. That is kind of sad. I don't know if any team would even take his contract. Yeah, I might try to go to that game. You should. I mean, Nashville, Tennessee is quite amazing. Sure, I haven't been there at all. Still. This is kind of sad. Sad to be a Tennessee Titans fan. And now this affects free agency. If Isaiah Wilson called it quits, who's going to even be a part of the Tennessee Titans? I mean, seriously. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't take Von Miller, because it's a sign Jon Robinson only wants players that play football, and Von Miller has off-the-field issues despite being a Super Bowl champ. It's J.J. Watt or bust. Now, I mean, seriously. Yeah, that's what Jon Robinson's looking. He's looking for guys that want to play football. That's what he's doing for free agency, and that's what he's doing for the draft. I live in Knoxville. Oh, so you do live in Tennessee. And now comes the bad part. Other than J.J. Watt, what other players are Tennessee Titans not likely going to get? I mean, seriously. I think Von Miller is one of those guys, because, no offense, Von Miller, he may be Super Bowl champ, but after what Robinson said, he wants players that only play football. I would be surprised to see Roger Goodell have NFL draft prospects put lie detectors. I mean, seriously, lie detectors, and tell them, do you want to play football or not? Right before NFL draft prospects get drafted. I mean, seriously. I know it's an invasion, but still, what happened to Isaiah Wilson should be proof that they need lie detectors. Because there's a chance that another guy could end up like Isaiah Wilson. I mean, Kevin Dodd was drafted by the Titans, and he was a round 2 pick, and he was a bust. Kevin Dodd was drafted in the same round as Derrick Henry. I mean, seriously, he was a bust. Here we thought Kevin Dodd was going to be Tennessee Titans' biggest bust. And no, Isaiah Wilson did it. Congratulations, Kevin Dodd. You're in second place now. I mean, seriously, that was very bad. It was so bad. I felt like I was going to collapse. But instead, I held on. It was so bad. Believe me. I cannot believe that this actually happened. If Isaiah Wilson is proof that Titans are not going to get any big names because of this free agency, then this is going to be a bad offseason for the Titans. I mean, seriously, they got a lot to think about. Add a right tackle to the list of needs. Tennessee Titans, they need an edge rusher. They need a wide receiver. They need a backup quarterback. Hell, if Gostkowski doesn't come onto the team, they need a kicker. This is kind of stressful. Tennessee Titans have the most needs out of the other 31 teams. fact, they could be desperate for anybody. I mean, seriously, they could be desperate about anybody. In fact, it won't be long before, or worse, they could pull a Bill O'Brien move. Oh, no one can replace Bill O'Brien. I just hope Jon Robinson doesn't end up making a Bill O'Brien move, because that could be very bad. I mean, seriously, look what Bill O'Brien did. He traded DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson last season. And that turned out to be sour fast. Well, on Texans' side, but the Cardinals, on the other hand, got the steal. And that's why Deshaun Watson wants out so bad. But no. I mean, seriously, this has got... And now it's Tennessee Titans' turn to be in the poorhouse. I mean, seriously. Seriously, I know Saints are bad, but Titans are about this close to the Saints. I mean, seriously. Oh, man. I mean, seriously, they're going to have to cut some big guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny Vaccaro becomes a free agent. I mean, seriously, they're okay with Amani Hooker. They probably don't need Vaccaro anymore. So, yeah, they can start off with him. And if they do, I know exactly where he goes. Still, what happened in the Isaiah Wilson thing was a total disgrace. It was disgraceful. It was disgraceful. I cannot believe that actually happened. And now, what are Tennessee Titans going to do with the right tackle situation? What happens if Dennis Kelly gets injured? Plus, Jon Robinson, he's got to get that first round ego of his fix. Because Titans have been stinking in the first round. Well, except for Jeffrey Simmons, that is. Jeffrey Simmons was the only first round pick. Jeffrey Simmons and Jack was the only first round pick thus far that did it. That did his job. I would count Jack Conklin if he wasn't released. If he wasn't released. So, yeah, I'm talking about guys that are still on the team. So, yeah, so far, Jeffrey Simmons is not the bust of the first round. I mean, seriously, people thought Green Bay Packers were the disgrace in the first round last year because they drafted Jordan Love. Maybe those laughs should have been for us when we drafted Isaiah Wilson. Boy, was Jordan Love was Jordan Love lucky. I mean, seriously, that was a total mess. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Grassi did a Tennessee Titans reaction video. Trucker, Tim, Miss Tannehill, Christian Diller. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Grassi. I'm very glad Tom Grassi hasn't done a Tennessee Titans reaction video yet, because now he has another reason for when that happens. Because now he has another reason to do that video. Isaiah Wilson. Sin gone. I don't know if his Titans persona is going to be going to be extremely mad or extremely glad? I mean, seriously. Guess we'll find out if he ever does it. Guess we'll find out if he does it. Anyways, yeah, this is kind of a sticky situation for Tennessee Titans fans because Isaiah Wilson's release is proof that Titans should focus on guys who want to play football. And that goes for all the other NFL teams. You have to use free agency and your draft picks wisely, or else you'll end up like Tennessee Titans did when they drafted Isaiah Wilson. May my team be an example to your team, not to draft someone like Isaiah Wilson, a slacker. Isaiah Wilson is a Squidward, and remember, nobody wants to be a Squidward. Yeah, I tweeted that on Twitter. Bro, if we release Wilson, we can get even more players in free agency. Christian Dillard, obviously you haven't watched Buck A to Z Sports Nashville last night about Buck and what Buck said. Our free agency is in the toilet right now, and we owe him $5 million. This year. That is bogus. I mean, seriously, his contract was over $11 million. So releasing Isaiah Wilson won't get us more money. It'll cost us more money. Which makes things worse. I mean, seriously, seriously, who would you compare Isaiah Wilson to? I mean, seriously, anybody in the real world, cartoons, or... I mean, seriously, because I compare him to Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, seriously, some people think he's Patrick because they think he's dumb. But I compare him to Squidward because Squidward may work, but he slacks a lot. He sleeps on the job. Yep, so just release Vaccaro and Humphreys and Wilson. Restructure Butler. Vaccaro and Humphreys make sense. Wilson, I already told you, man. But Butler, he may consider restructure. Anyways, let's move on to our next topic, which is my NFL free agency mock version. I mean, seriously, I'm doing a mock free agency. The people which I think will be in... The people in which I think will go to teams... Don't forget that... Can't wait for this. Yeah, don't forget that today is the start of NFL teams tagging people tagging players, and it doesn't end till March 9th. So let's get this party started, shall we? Who do you think will receive the tag? Who do you think will receive the tag? I hope, because to me, I hope it doesn't come down to Dak Prescott again. I mean, seriously, Dak Prescott's already worth a lot of money. Dak Prescott is worth a lot of money. They tagged him last year, and if they tag him again, it's going to cause the Dallas Cowboys to be in extremely. I mean, seriously, if they want if they want Dak Prescott the future, they got to get it done before March 9th. Not use the free agency tag. I mean, seriously. Because if you do, I know a destination where he can go. San Francisco. Yep, San Francisco. Go play for the 49ers if the Cowboys don't get you. Now I want to turn to J.J. Watt at the next, because J.J. Watt, he tweeted something big. He came up with this tweet today, which could show where he might go. He tweeted something about mitochondria, about it being the powerhouse of the cell. See you soon, Trucker Tim. Well, I guess he's not coming here then. What? Because of what? Well, what? Because of the tweet he said about mitochondria? Yeah, because most people think that he might end up with the Buffalo Bills after seeing that tweet. I mean, seriously, most people think it's going to be Buffalo. And I don't blame you for saying that. I don't blame anyone for saying that, because the Buffalo Bills, they're the runner-up. They're the AFC runner-ups. But we can't. But Steelers, Browns, Packers, Titans fans, we cannot lose hope just because of this tweet. I mean, seriously, we already heard a lot of things from J.J. Watt. I mean, seriously, you know, remind you all that he said he was interested in signing with Cleveland. So yeah, that mitochondria tweet, it could be a sign that he goes to Buffalo. But then think about it. Think about it. A dog tweet could mean Cleveland Browns. A cheese tweet could mean Green Bay Packers. A music or a Nissan car could mean Tennessee Titans. I mean, seriously, he could tweet anything, and we still and it still won't 100% believe J.J. Watt could be on that team. I mean, seriously. I still hope as a Tennessee Titans fan, I still believe J.J. Watt could come here, come to Nashville, but right now, all favors going to Buffalo at the moment. So, Packers, Titans, Browns, Steelers fans, you need a sign. You need a sign. In fact, I'm already starting a trend. Tighten up J.J. Watt. That's what I'm doing. So yeah, right now I got J.J. Watt in Buffalo. I got Dak Prescott in San Francisco. Let's see here. I got Chris Godwin staying in Tampa Bay. I mean, seriously, you're not gonna pull Buccaneers out. I mean, seriously. You're not gonna pull him out of Tampa Bay. Give him that franchise tag. And Chris Godwin's not the only one that could get the franchise tag. I think Detroit will use it on Kenny Golladay. I predict Chicago's going to use it on Allen Robinson, but then he'll be used as a trade bait. I mean, seriously, he could be used as a trade bait when that happens. Next up is Aaron Jones. I already did a video that Aaron Jones has a mutual interest with the Miami Dolphins. And right now I'm believing in it. I believe Aaron Jones will leave Green Bay for Miami. Because the Dolphins, they need a running back. And I highly doubt Najee Harris is the solution, but if Najee Harris is the solution, good for them. Aaron Jones is interested in Miami. Well, it's just a rumor right now. I mean, seriously, look it up on NFL Rumors on Twitter. It's just a rumor right now. But yeah, but this rumor is pointing in that direction. Aaron Jones could head for Miami. I mean, seriously, you can't expect Aaron Jones to stay in Green Bay with their money situation. I mean, seriously. Why do you think they drafted A.J. Dillon? Because they knew this day was going to happen. They can't afford to keep both Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. I mean it. Won't make Miami a contender, but it will make them better. Yeah, it will. In fact, that's why Green Bay Packers drafted A.J. Dillon in round 2, because they knew this was going to happen. They can't afford to keep both Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. I think that's why you Green Bay Packers fans should not complain that you drafted A.J. Dillon in round 2, because they knew this was going to happen eventually. They knew that they can't afford Aaron Jones. Sometimes you got to know when to call it quits. They already moved forward into the future last year, and that's what they did in the first 3 rounds. Except for the Josiah DeGuara pick. That was kind of disturbing. This offseason is very interesting. I know, because of the cap space. I mean, seriously, what in the world is up with the cap space? for Von Miller, right now, Cleveland Browns are looking interested at the moment. Right now, he's still a Bronco, but if he does get released, Cleveland Browns are the first one up that are calling for Von Miller if Denver Broncos let him go. Or maybe Von Miller would be, or maybe maybe Denver Broncos might be interested in trading with Cleveland Browns. I mean, seriously, right now, Von Miller is calling interest from Cleveland. I mean, the Browns, they're probably looking into the future right now. Sure, they're not out of the J.J. Watt sweepstakes, but the fact that they showed interest in Von Miller confirms that they are trying to come up with a plan B. I wouldn't be surprised if any other teams come up with plan Bs after losing the J.J. Watt. Next up, next guy I want to talk about is T.Y. Hilton. Yeah, T.Y. Hilton. He's one tough wide receiver. Been with Indianapolis for a long time. And there are some interesting names out there saying that he could go to either Jaguars or Titans or probably to Miami Dolphins. If it comes down to any of those three, it's going to be Jacksonville. And you're like, what? Well, it's quite simple. It is quite simple. The Jaguars, they have their staff ready. They are just waiting for Trevor Lawrence to come. Meanwhile, Tennessee Titans, they're starting off with an offensive coordinator who hasn't had the position in quite a long time and never got the chance to show his full potential. Miami Dolphins, they have two offensive coordinators. What did you expect me to say? If it comes down to those three guys, it's going to be Jacksonville Jaguars. And when that happens, Trevor Lawrence is going to get a great wide receiver. I mean, seriously, he made Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck look like monsters. Jeez. Next up, I got to say Matt Judon. Ooh, boy. Matt Judon. Yeah, there is no doubt the Ravens are not going to use their tag on him because he's worth a lot of money and he's going to be a very, very bad. It's going to be a very bad, sticky situation to keep Matt Judon and Yannick Njoku onto the team. Yeah, Yannick, I don't know what the heck is going to go on. I mean, seriously, those two guys are basically gone. They're probably going to leave the Ravens. Where are they going to end up? Well, here's the thing. I would hate to say this, and I hope it doesn't happen, but I think Matt Judon, his best bet would be the Tennessee Titans. And I know. And if it does happen, I'm calling him a hypocrite because he called them babies. If that happens, I'm calling him a hypocrite. Because of what he said during his interview. As for Yannick Njoku, I think he winds up back in Jacksonville after what happened. I can see Jacksonville Jaguars making amends, especially since Joe Cullen is the defensive coordinator. Bring Njoku back to Jacksonville. Oh boy, let's see what else I can come up with. Oh, boy. Yeah, let's go with Corey Davis next. Corey Davis, I don't see Tennessee Titans finding a way to bring him back. And if I have to choose a team to take Corey Davis in, it's got to be the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, seriously, the Ravens are basically the favorites. They need a wide receiver, and I think Lamar Jackson would be in best bet with Corey Davis. Plus, the Ravens, they always try to steal from us. So, yeah, if we get Matt Judon, they get Corey Davis. Next up, I think Rick Wagner next because he got released by the Packers. I can see Tennessee Titans getting Rick Wagner because of the Isaiah Wilson situation. I think Rick Wagner could be signed by the Titans at a decent wage because I think Rick Wagner would definitely fill the void that Isaiah Wilson had. I think so. Yeah. So yeah, I can see Tennessee Titans getting Rick Wagner. Ooh. Next up, Jayon Brown. I don't think Tennessee Titans are willing to part ways with Jayon Brown just yet. No way. No way, especially after what happened during that game against Baltimore. We are not ready to part with Jayon Brown yet. I believe Tennessee Titans will figure out a way to keep Jayon Brown around. Jayon Brown has to be one of our number one priorities. I mean, seriously, Jayon Brown has to be one of our number one priorities. I mean, seriously, we can tag Jonnu Smith for crying out loud, but we cannot tag Jayon Brown. So yeah, we need Jayon Brown now. He's the one guy we can't let go. I mean, we could part ways with Corey Davis, but not Jayon Brown. He's one of our defensive leaders for crying out loud. He's the reason Shane Bowen is not fired. Plus, I bet he comes back stronger than ever, so it's best not to lose him to another team. So yeah, Jayon Brown, come back to Tennessee. And I believe Tennessee Titans, they will also try and get Desmond King back. I mean, seriously, Desmond King, we cannot afford to lose him. Especially after we came all this way to trade the guy back during our bye week. I mean, seriously, we traded this guy during our bye week. But didn't we? I mean, seriously. I think Titans will figure out a way to keep Desmond King. I think Titans will find a way to keep Desmond King. They'll sign. That's my top 3 Tennessee Titans signings. They'll get Matt Judon. They'll re-sign Desmond King, and they'll re-sign Jayon Brown. Those are my top 3. We need to keep Desmond. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's my top 3 signings for the Tennessee Titans. They'll re-sign Matt Judon, they'll re-sign Desmond King, and they'll re-sign Jayon Brown. Those are my top 3. So come on. Who are your top 3 players that you want signed onto your team? I mean, I'm still keeping the faith that hopefully J.J. Watt answers my prayers and comes to Tennessee. I mean, seriously, I already started a trend. Tighten up J.J. Watt. And if you're a Titans fan, spread it. Tighten up J.J. Watt. But if you're not a Titans fan, use your logo and combine it with the J.J. Watts. Like, say, if you're a Packers fan, go Pack, go J.J. Watt. Or go Pack, J.J. Watt, go. That's what it would sound like in Packer language. Bud Dupree, Juju, or Curtis Samuel. Resign King, and I want J.J. Watt. Then Christian Dillard, spread this and trend it. Tighten up J.J. Watt. That's right, hashtag it. Tighten up J.J. Watt. Those aren't my predictions. I just want them. Well, if you want J.J. Watt, spread this hashtag. Tighten up J.J. Watt. Because that's what I'm doing. I am playing my part in hoping that J.J. Watt would come to Tennessee. I mean, seriously, we got the King. We got King Henry. We got his former defensive coordinator, Mike Vrabel, as his head coach. We got A.J. Brown, one of our toughest receivers. All we need is a defensive leader. We need a defensive leader, and I hope it's J.J. Watt. Because I don't think it's going to be Von Miller after what happened with the Isaiah Wilson situation. But can you imagine if Tennessee Titans end up stealing J.J. Watt from Houston and T.Y. Hilton from Indy? I mean, seriously, that would be one hell of a party. Imagine if Tennessee Titans got both J.J. Watt and T.Y. Hilton. But no. That won't happen. That can't possibly happen. But if it did, we'd be in party mode. Bud Dupree, originally I was on his side, but then of course he did have injury pro. But then again, so did J.J. Watt. So yeah, if Bud Dupree comes to us, I hope he gets a fresh start with us. Juju or Curtis Samuel is better than T.Y. Hilton. Yeah, someone from NFL Total Access thinks that Juju Smith-Schuster could be a fit with the Tennessee Titans. Oh, yeah, Steve Smith. Yeah. I can see Corey Smith as a perfect fit for the Baltimore Ravens. He's right. Juju is an upgraded Corey Davis. Yeah, which is why Corey Davis will go, and I think he'll end up in Baltimore. Or because the Ravens, obviously a good fit for Corey Davis. But if they do then that proves Ravens are thieves. And if he does go over there, he won't have to face us until we somehow make the playoffs. Because Colts have the Ravens this year. Because the Ravens have the Colts this year. Our AFC North opponent is Pittsburgh. Yeah, the AFC South goes down like this versus AFC North goes down like this. Titans at Pittsburgh. Colts at Baltimore. Texans at Cleveland. Which, if J.J. Watt goes to Cleveland, that will be a payback moment. moment. But then again, and Bengals at Jacksonville, and Jaguars at Cincinnati. But here comes the bad part. If Cleveland Browns get J.J. Watt, for instance, he would be betraying his brothers. I mean, seriously, he would end up betraying his brothers because they're both on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and if he goes to Cleveland, this could make their families complicated. This could make their families complicated. I mean, seriously. J.J. Watt would be a traitor not only to Houston, but his brothers as well. I mean, seriously. Mostly his brothers. For choosing the Browns. I mean, when his brothers are on the Steelers. That would be a total disgrace. A total disgrace. And if he wants a ring so bad, why not choose a team that's in the running to win now, or maybe a team you're used to. But here's the thing. Go to a team that's not your system and you end up starting from square one. Which is why I hope Tennessee Titans get him, because Mike Vrabel and Shane Bowen obviously have the same system J.J. Watt has with the Texans. Seriously, Tennessee Titans need all the help they can get. And also, I know damn well J.J. Watt misses Clowney. Yeah, Clowney is trying to get back onto the Titans. Maybe J.J. Watt, maybe Clowney can do maybe once Clowney gets his contract renewed, maybe he can tell J.J. Watt to come over in Nashville. And I hope they do it, and I hope Clowney gets it soon, because we need J.J. Watt in Tennessee. We need J.J. Watt in Tennessee. Maybe re-signing Clowney is a good thing, because we need this duo. Honestly, maybe individually they stink, but together they'll be a dangerous threat. Anyways, now I want to move on to Patrick Peterson. I'm going to have to agree with Peter Sharax's guts on Good Morning Football. That's right, I watch Good Morning Football. And Peter says that Patrick Peterson's best fit is Kansas City, and I have to agree with him. I think he will end up in Kansas City because of the things he said. Breeland is heading to free agency. Also, his connection with some of the LSU people, including Tyrann Mathieu, on the team. I think Kansas City Chiefs should be Patrick Peterson's number one spot. So yeah, I can see Patrick Peterson in Kansas City. Anyways, now let's move on to Matt Milano. Matt Milano. I can see him in these three places. Either back in Buffalo, if he takes a franchise tag or a deal. 2, Tennessee Titans if they don't get Jayon Brown back. Or 3, New England Patriots. Those are my 3 guesses. Why Patriots? I don't know. But I think Patriots may have mutual interest, and Milano might have mutual interests. Now then, let's talk about Zach Ertz. Just in case Zach Ertz gets released, I can see him at Buffalo if they don't get Jonnu Smith. If Buffalo Bills don't get Jonnu Smith, I doubt Milano would go to a divisional rival. Not unless he's desperate. Remember Melvin Gordon did it? Remember when Melvin Gordon did it? He left the Chargers for the Broncos. Yeah, last year's free agency. We all know what Melvin Gordon did. He left the Chargers and signed with the Broncos last season. He betrayed his own divisional team for their divisional rivals. Which means it could happen to anybody. It could mean J.J. Watt could sign the Titans. It could mean Milano could sign with the Patriots. It could mean anything. Even T.Y. Hilton could sign with either Titans or Jaguars. I mean, seriously. I hope Zach Ertz. I just pray that Zach Ertz or Jonnu Smith don't end up in Seattle. Why is that? Because Russell Wilson has bad luck with tight ends. Remember Jimmy Graham and Greg Olsen? Bad luck. He turned those two big name tight ends into trash. So I do not want that to happen to Jonnu Smith. I do not want that to happen to Zach Ertz. Well, eventually a tight end has to come to Seattle eventually, but still. Yeah, Russell Wilson definitely needs help with the tight end position because he's only been good with receivers. Hopefully Seattle gets a tight end that actually works with Russell Wilson. I just hope Zach Ertz or Jonnu Smith don't risk their careers to do that. I think the draft is most important. So if you're Zach Ertz or Jonnu Smith, stay away from Seattle. Still, I think Jonnu Smith, there is a chance Tennessee Titans could tag him, but if he doesn't, his number one spot would definitely be Jacksonville Jaguars or Buffalo Bills. I mean, seriously, we would call Buffalo Bills Super Bowl winners by now if J.J. Watt and Jonnu Smith ends up in Buffalo. Hunter Henry if Jonnu is gone. I don't know. I don't know if Hunter Henry could be worth all that money. I don't know if Hunter Henry could be worth all that money. But let's look at Buffalo for a sec. If they end up winning the J.J. Watt and Jonnu Smith sweepstakes, they could be Super Bowl. They could be a threat to Tampa Bay and get the Super Bowl trophies. I mean, seriously, what would happen if J.J. Watt and Jonnu Smith both joined Buffalo? Equals one thing: Super Bowl winners, and that would be bad. I mean, seriously, they got the roster. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. And if they add Jonnu Smith, that's going to be tough to beat. And don't forget, I'm going live 1 hour from free agency. I mean, seriously, I'm going live 1 hour before free agency starts. Oh, speaking of which, free agency starts on St. Patrick's Day, which was the day Tom Brady signed with the Bucs. That could be a good topic to discuss on there. Anyways, I'll see you all next time. This is Stephen Crocio signing off.